I remember looking around and just there was not another soul there. I knew we needed to get to the hospital right now. I knew it was very, very serious, but I didn't realize exactly how serious it was. That morning it had rained just a little bit. Jess was out running errands. Our daughter Morgan, it was her first season of soccer, so I had been wanting to get her out to the soccer field just to practice. Our son Cameron was playing goalie, and Ryan was out there just kind of walking around, playing a little bit, and then just picking grass, here and there. Morgan kicked the ball and it went wide right of the soccer goal. I went to go retrieve it, and as I picked it up and I was turning around, and then there was the full-size, adult-size soccer goal was in mid-fall. I looked over to my right, and then there was Ryan laying there, his eyes wide open, and the dramatic, super pronounced swelling right across his forehead. I picked him up and I carried him maybe 3 or 4 steps, calling out his name, not getting any response at all. That's when I realized that he's not breathing. Luckily, my phone was in my pocket. I made the phone call real quick, let him know where we were at, sent help now. I had gotten CPR training a couple years before, and I tried to do my best. The first responders got there. Immediately, they were like, hey, we need to get a life flight in here. That's when I gave Jess a call.
I knew the situation was bad because before we hung up the phone, Andy said he didn't know if Ryan was going to make it. They took him to CT and quickly determined he needed to go into emergency surgery.
The impact had caused a portion of his skull bone to be pushed in, so it's putting a lot of pressure on his brain. And we removed those bone fragments and took the pressure off of his brain and were able to repair his skull that way.
Ryan was semi-comatose, and he could maybe follow some very simple commands, but he really couldn't talk or walk or speak or do anything that a typical 3-year-old should do.
When you have a brain injury, such as Ryan did, a portion of the brain is injured, and that portion of the brain that's injured does not recover. Other parts of the brain that are not injured take over the functions that were lost. And this is where it's really important for patients to have good, high-quality rehab, which we do fortunately have here at Arkansas Children's Hospital.
We evaluated him to come to the rehab floor, where he stayed with us for about a month, and he was able to eat and drink some by the time he left, but he still had the G-tube in. He was also able to talk some by the time he left. He was also starting to walk and to do some playful activities.
Jingle bell, jingle bell.
Singing songs and not completing the ending phrase to see if Ryan would pipe in.
You could almost see his wheels turning when Andrew would play those songs for him. And I do think it helped, not only with his speech, but just with his general cognitive progress.
I've had the privilege of following him since he's been discharged. He is back to normal. He is able to walk and talk and play and do everything now that a 5-year-old should be able to do. And he's done incredibly well after having this tragic accident.